Good afternoon and welcome. Today is the April new moon, which is in Aries, and we can expect some fireworks, some butt kicking, and some really big pushes to get going on whatever the projects are that are coming up. Now, one of the things that's interesting with this new moon is, of course, with the Aries energy, we're right at the beginning of the zodiac for the lunar cycles. And Aries energy will bring in the motivation, the desire, the energy to be able to take the projects that might have been sitting on the back burner and really start to get them going. Now, the other thing that comes in is with Aries being ruled by Mars, there can be a bit of conflict. There can be a little bit of confrontation in the sense that Mars really wants to get done what needs to get done, and it will push its way through, right? It's the one that's going to push its way to the front of the crowd just so that it can be the first one in line to get the tickets or whatever needs to be done. Now, one of the things about this new moon that I'm going to bring forward is that because we have Aries and Mars, there's a lot of possibility for discomfort, right? Like there's the desire to want to move, there's the desire to want to go. And if you're anything like me, who initiation and getting going and taking risks scares the crap out of you, then this moon is one that's going to kind of maybe catch you off guard. The thing is it's really important for the new moon in Aries to look at where are you really resistance to these big changes, to these big pushes in momentum, because that's what this new moon is calling us to cultivate and to move on. This energy is here to really start that pioneering into a new direction, into a new arena, and to really make sure that what we're doing from this idea of it's time to start something new and fresh. One of the other things too that I find interesting with this moon is being that it's in April, it's also at that really big push to come out of the slumber snooziness that we have in the winter and really kind of push us into that spring rebirth energy. And so it's really going to be important for us to make sure that what we're doing right now is checking in with ourselves when we start to feel uncomfortable of maybe things are going too fast, maybe they're starting too quickly, maybe they're falling into alignment and we have no experience with how that works and what that means for us, to be able to really have to sit with it and still keep going, right? There might be a desire to slow down, there might be a desire to check in with other people, to get somebody to say, hey, this is a bad idea, but this is really the time to take some risks. Even if they're just calculated risks, even if they're just very small baby step risks, that's what this new moon is calling us to do. And, the only kind of warning is, if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel the resistance, slow down long enough to catch your breath. But Aries and Mars, it's a pedal to the metal time, and they really want to get going on these projects. It's that horse chomping at the bit saying, it's time to go, let's go, let's go. And so looking again, as I said, to the areas where you feel uncomfortable, where there's some things going on, this is your go sign. So we're going to shuffle the cards and we're going to find out what does the new moon in Aries have to say to us. And keep in mind that Aries tends, being a fire sign, very rarely will it baby us. And so be prepared for whatever comes up. Get the cards nicely shuffled. All right, let's see what we've got. We're at a courageous month. So we'll have our 3 cards, 2, 3. Now, the questions that we have for the cards is, so what new direction is lighting you up? Interesting. We have the moon, and the moon being a water card, and let me see, what do we have here? We've got Pisces here with the moon. This is really interesting because we're now in a very fiery based new moon, and we've pulled a very heavy hitting water card. And so this is really interesting because what's lighting us up is it's an emotional activation that we're having. And so what Aries is coming forward in this new moon to say to us, like what you really want to be looking for is, where is the emotional drive really kind of coming online? What is it that when you're doing it, you feel excited, you feel alive, you feel this draw, this happiness, this joy towards whatever the project is that's calling you forward? It's really also asking to pay attention to your dreams, because your dreams will be seeded with what it is that is coming into your life, what it is that's coming along. And I think one of the reasons why it's going to do that is because Aries can be a very heavy hitting, very quick to move. And so by coming in and seeding it in the dreams, then when you experience it in real life, it's going to be less terrifying, and it'll feel a lot more familiar. So even if you're taking a risk, it's going to feel as if this is something that you've been here before. This is something you've experienced before. And so it's going to allow you to ease into it with a little bit less resistance. Next, we're going to ask, what part of you is ready to take charge? The thing is we're in a moon that it's saying you have the initiating energy to get going, and it's not about passing the buck off to somebody else. And so what we have now, again, interesting, we have another major arcana card, and here we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is somebody that puts themselves in an inverted position, or puts themselves in a situation where they can see a new perspective to what is really going on. And this is where we're being asked to take action. Now, being that it is a major arcana card as well, this is something that, for what it is that you want to do, this is something that needs to happen. You need to step out of your habits. You need to step out of your routine. You need to take a period of stasis, in the sense the hangman, when the hangman is dangling upside down, there's not a lot of movement. There's not a lot of action that can be taken. And I find that this is really interesting, because this is also the card in the spread that does represent Aries. And so what we have here is Aries, which is an energy that is made to move, is being put in a position where it's unable to move. And so there's going to be some frustration. There's going to be some kind of upset that's going to be happening. But the whole purpose of it is to give you the experience of shifting what's going on, seeing it from a different perspective, so that even if you're never righted, you will be able to take action from a new perspective, from a different angle, right? So even if the hangman here never rights himself again and decides, I'm going to untangle my feet from this tree and I'm going to walk away on my hands, there's action there, and it's a different action. And I think that's really what you could expect to happen over the period of this new moon, is the action's going to come out of left field. It's going to be very strange. It's going to be something that you may not have thought about, you may not be open to, but until you are allow yourself to shift the story, to shift the perspective, that's what's going to allow you to be able to move forward. And our final question is, what will empower you to take direct action? And so when we're looking at the moon can be very soft, but it has a very definite pull on the body. It has a definite, when you come across whatever it is that the new moon wants you to work on, you're going to feel that forward pull in your body. And then the hangman is going to basically challenge you to say, you know, like, this is what Aries' challenge is how can you do this differently? Stop what you're doing and think about how you can do this differently. You need to do it differently. And you need to do it differently in a way that's aligned with yourself. And now, when we're looking at what will empower you to take that direct action, here we have the card for Mars, which is the Knight of Wands. So here's our first fire, and also our first minor arcana in this spread, meaning that the actions that you're going to be taking right now are coming directly from yourself. So the Knight of Wands is a very dynamic character. He's very willing to kind of burn the whole forest down in order to get to the prize of what he is looking to get. And this is where the discomfort of this moon is going to come in, is you're being asked to take actions that may have a destructive impact, but even a forest fire has benefits, right? So if a fire's burnt down, then a year, 2 years from now, you're going to see the forest grow back so more vibrant, so more lush, and there's a lot of seeds that crack open in the extreme heat of these kinds of things. And this is what the Knight is doing. The Knight has been given a directive. The Knight has an objective to get to, and he is going to do whatever it takes in order to achieve that direction. And so whatever you're leaning into, whatever your dreams are telling you, whatever is guiding your emotions and lighting you up from inside, he's going to make sure that that path is clear, that everything is in alignment for you to be able to do that. And he's going to do that by, taking that perspective shift that's happening and really kind of come up with a creative and new way to go forward. And so this is going to definitely be a new moon. So over the next week, you can expect that there's going to be a lot of shakeups, a lot of shifts, some energy kind of sparking and moving around. And as long as you're following through, that whatever it is that you're leaning towards it, and that whatever it is feels familiar and it feels exciting, and that whatever you're doing, you're looking at how to do it differently from the way you may have been doing it, that's going to guide you in ways that will open up, that pathway for the Knight of Wands to just basically be able to kind of come right through and really achieve the goals that you're setting out for right now. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little new moon spread, and that you tune into your dreams, you find a different way to come at things, and that you put your energy and your focus into exactly where it is that you want to go and what it is that you want to do. And I would really like to hear if anything shifts for you, if anything happens, that you let me know, because that's what this is all about, right? So I will see you again at the full moon. In the meantime, take care, and I will see you around the webs.